sweatpants, ready. Let's fix the toilet. So this is what I'm working with. I have a toilet that when flushed, leaks all through this area. Supply list, sponge to remove water from here and here after we've flushed as much as we can out. Fluid Master Better Than Wax Seal. I actually have 2 of these because I don't know my level of my flange below my hardwood floor. Secure caps, plumber's putty because it sounded like a good idea. Waterproof silicone sealant, so just some caulking in case I need it after. Toilet shims, I don't know, thought I'd grab them just in case. And then a putty knife, of course, to scrape the old wax off. Set of rubber gloves because yuck, it's a toilet. I also like having a little container handy. This will serve 2 purposes. The lid I like to store bits and baubles in, aka nuts and bolts. And this can catch some water if there's some that's I know that's gonna drip, that sort of thing. So, better than wax. Sounds like a good idea. So we'll see how this works. Otherwise, I'm gonna start by turning the water off. I'm gonna flush the toilet as much as I can. I've already done this, so you're not gonna see that step. Then I'm gonna take all the water out of here with a sponge, get as much out as possible. Then I'm gonna disconnect the supply line and I will update you from there. Take the toilet off, loosen the bolts, loosen the nuts, all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited about this too, can't you tell? This can take a few minutes. Well, I have all the water out. I think I'm gonna clean the toilet. All right, that's all clean. This is where we're at. Emptied, cleaned, basically emptied. Now I'm gonna disconnect the supply line. Again, note I've already turned off the water. Take the caps off, take off the nuts with, for me it's a 13 mil, and lift this sucker off. I assume some water is gonna come out. There we go. Not a lot, not bad. I'm not a huge person. My muscles are only this big. But I'm gonna sit on the toilet, kind of wiggle it a little bit, and then lift it up, and then try and set it over on this towel. Husband just came home with the kids too. So now we'll be juggling this around kids. I'm gonna keep them out of the bathroom right now. So it looks like what happened is this little plastic positioner on this one side wasn't seated directly onto the white flange, and instead there was a gap, and that's created a seal issue with the wax gasket. That's my best guesstimate of what happened and why this failed. Okay, so I ended up removing this, which I didn't know it. I thought it was a flange, but I was wrong. This is actually a spacer, because my flange is about a ½ inch below my finished floor. So that means I need certain spacers. So I'm gonna try and do this and install it with the spacers provided with this toilet seal kit. And if that doesn't work, then I've bought a new spacer like this. And as a plan B, I've also bought the Odie flange extender kit. So I'm gonna try it with option 1, put everything back together. If it doesn't work, I can try option 2, then I have option 3. But this is the simplest one, so we'll see how it goes. So I've installed my new bolts with my washers. Now I'm going to put my spacer, and then I'm going to put on 2 flanges because of the depth of my hole. So you'll see what I do here in a sec. So I couldn't install without putting in kind of a flange repair spacer because my bolts were coming through the damaged flange and I couldn't get the seal. So now I'm going back to the instructions and I'm now even with or 1/4 inch below with respect to my flange now at the white. So I have a single spacer and we'll see how this works. So I'm gonna try and put it all back together now and fingers crossed. Slightly annoying, different size nuts. So 7/16 wrench for the install on this one. I think I'm gonna need some shims. So I'm just gonna have these ready. And then I can potentially adjust. Hopefully I don't need any more than this, but just to ensure that I don't end up with a wobbly toilet. So I've got a level on the back of my toilet just to help me get it so it's not wobbling and so that it's installed evenly. Okay, moment of truth. Got some spare parts there. I reconnected the supply line, filling back up the toilet. It is really solid, really level. There's no wobble in it. Hopefully the rubber gasket is a winner and the fix on the flange is a winner. But who knows? We'll see. I don't see any water. Do you see any water? Oh my God, I fixed my toilet. I know I sound surprised. That's why I call this an adventure, not a how-to. You can see where I installed the shims as well. So I'll have to think of something to caulk under there or something, but yay, it worked. All back together. I don't know about you, but I'm pooped. Thanks for watching.